Hello everybody, this is Nikki from Nikki Say It Now. I'm back with another video, guys. This is part of my Nikki Out Loud show. If you guys can't find the videos for my Nikki Out Loud show, make sure you guys go to my playlists, and it's going to be the Nikki Out Loud playlist. Click on that playlist and you'll see all of my news videos. Today I'm going to be talking about something that really irks me. You know how I love that word irk. I've been using it before. But this news, when I read about it, I watched the videos about it, it really saddened my mood, just because I can't believe, this kind of thing is still happening in society today. So this is about a woman accusing a 14-year-old of stealing her phone when the Uber drivers already found the phone. Okay? So the Uber driver found the phone and actually gave it back to her at the hotel later that day, when she was accusing Kean Harold Jr., which is Kean Harold's son, for taking her iPhone when it was Kean Harold Jr.'s iPhone. Okay, so she practically attacked him, meaning that she used force to keep him from getting out of the hotel. So in the video you will see him getting out of the hotel, trying to get out of the hotel to try to get out of the situation, because she was like yelling and everything. And she attacked him from behind and tells them to not let them out of the hotel because they had stole her cell phone. So her name is Mia Ponsettos, okay? And Kean Harold is actually a famous trumpet player. He did an album dedicated to the situation about Michael Brown years ago, and after that, a lot of these famous celebrities, famous musicians such as Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Rihanna, Eminem, Maxwell, and Anthony Hamilton. He also worked with Common, so he does musical horizons beyond jazz to include funk, Afrobeat, R&B, and hip hop. And his son and him were having lunch. I don't know how this happened, like how she just pinpointed, oh my god, this is the guy who stole my iPhone. You know what I mean? I don't know what came into her head to just pinpoint a 14-year-old. Somebody who is 14, innocent, has nothing to do with any organized crimes at all, would just be accused of something so stupid. The upper left hand corner, you always know that I have the pictures on the upper left hand corner. You'll see Mia Ponsetto on the left, and then you'll see Kean Harold on the right. So this is the famous trumpet player. And I'm gonna show you videos later of what his son looks like, and there's a video about what the family had to say. The family, Kean Harold's family, Kean Harold Jr.'s mother and Kean Harold talking about the issue and what they think about the issue. So Mia Ponsetto spent 2 weeks in jail for attempted robbery, was one of them, endangering the welfare of a child, because she did try to attack him, and it was 2 weeks in jail. Really happening in the justice system, that should have been more than that. It's my heart to know that she has no sympathy whatsoever in this situation. She did apologize, but it was not really an apology. Yeah, Kean Harold won a Grammy, and he did an album called The Musician. okay? He grew up, little bit about Keon Harold, okay? He grew up in one of 16 children in a family that prioritized music and community across generations. His grandfather was a police officer who retired from the force to found a drum and bugle corps for local youth. His parents were pastors, so he left Ferguson for New York to enroll in the new school in New York. So he went to school for music. So he's a very talented man. But again, society does people in society don't see people that way. Even though he's a famous trumpet player, he still gets scrutinized by the color of his skin. Okay, scrutinized, attacked. This is a very sad situation. I couldn't watch the video when the family spoke out about it. The Keon Harold Jr. still looks traumatized by it, and he stated in the interview that if it wasn't for his father to be there, he said he didn't know what he would do. You know what I mean? So let's go on to see what went down. Let's hide this. What really went down.
A wild confrontation with racial overtones to tell you about happened in the lobby of a Tony Hotel in Soho, Manhattan. A white woman accusing a 14-year-old black teenager of stealing her phone. That video going viral tonight, and it turns out the boy never stole her phone. With the story, here's Sonia Rincon.
Imagine someone falsely accusing your teenage child of stealing an iPhone. That's what happened here in the lobby of the Arlo Hotel in Soho on Saturday.
Show me. No,
you don't have to explain nothing to her.
Take the case off. That's mine. You literally can get it back.
Are you kidding me? You feel like there's only one iPhone made in the world?
This video was taken by Grammy-winning jazz musician Keon Harold. He and his 14-year-old son, Keon Jr., were guests at the hotel. He says when a hotel employee intervened, the employee asked Harold's son to show her his phone rather than asking the woman to leave him alone.
No, but you're not helping. What you're doing is disrespectful.
The video, which has been viewed more than 1 million times, lasts for 1 minute. But Harold claims this all went on for 5 minutes and that the woman eventually tackled his son. He also says he later learned that her missing phone was returned to her by the driver of the Uber she'd left it in.
It's just unbelievable that someone would literally have the audacity to assume and wrongfully accuse, my son who's 14 years old, not ever seen him, we never met this person before, that he had somehow gotten access and stole her phone.
Harold and his family are now represented by civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump.
The roles were reversed, and Keon tackled a teenage white child over a false accusation about a cell phone. There is no question he would be arrested. And so we can't have this double standard in America.
She did get arrested, guys. She did get arrested, but what the civil lawyer is trying to say is that if the roles were reversed, then she would have had a worse punishment than what she got. She only got 2 weeks in jail. 2 weeks, y'all.
Earlier, the Arlo Hotel issued a statement saying, "We're deeply disheartened about the recent incident of baseless accusation, prejudice, and assault against an innocent guest." It went on to say the manager on duty promptly called the police regarding the woman's conduct and that hotel security intervened to prevent further violence. Still, more could have been done to de-escalate the dispute. The police have not yet publicly identified the woman in the video, nor has the Arlo Hotel, though Harold says a hotel worker told him the woman had been a guest here a couple days earlier. Attorney Benjamin Crump is calling not only for criminal charges against the woman, but for a civil rights investigation into the Arlo for its implicit bias against young Keon.
So that's the little gist of this. This girl is not from New York, Mia Ponsetto. She is from California, the Ventura County area. and she just, I think she was in New York for a visit or something, or a trip, and they later found her phone in an Uber later that day when she falsely accused. She should have sincerely apologized, but this is her interview with Gail. Okay?
This morning, we are sharing more of our exclusive interview with a woman whose confrontation with a black teenager in a New York hotel was caught on camera over the holidays. Cell phone video shows Mia Ponsetto accusing 14-year-old Keon Harold Jr. of stealing her iPhone last month. Ponsetto was arraigned over the weekend and freed on supervised release. She is charged with attempted robbery, attempted grand larceny,
attempted robbery, grand larceny, endangering the welfare of a child, attempted assault.
The welfare of a child, and attempted assault. Well, we spoke with Ponsetto and her attorney, that's Sharon Gatan, just hours before her arrest last week. This morning, we began where we left off on Friday. You seem to have attacked this teenager about the phone, and then it turned out he didn't even have your phone.
Okay, so
that's the thing. I mean, you're saying, look, I'm 22 years old. You're 22 years old, but you are old enough to know better.
Oh, the hotel
So I will say you're 22.
All right,
I
Gail,
get it.
enough. The hotel did have my phone.
She said enough to the reporter. Like, she had the right to. This girl's crazy.
The hotel did end up having my phone. I did get my belongings returned to me, so maybe it wasn't him, but at the same time, how is it so that as soon as I get asked to leave the premises after I had accused this person of stealing my phone, how is it?
I thought that first when I watched this video, I thought the woman on the right was her mother, but that's her lawyer. So when they both get interviewed, like, you're gonna see Keon Harold Jr. and Keon Harold and mother of Keon Harold Jr. in the video, but you're going to also see their lawyer as well. So their lawyer is present.
That all of a sudden they just miraculously have my phone when I come back. And it didn't seem as if my accusations really bothered the son and the father, because they were just enjoying a nice meal right after this whole encounter. But all I'm saying,
I don't know if you, Mia,
is I want
I don't
this
know
to
if
be
you can say
over,
what,
and I'm sorry.
whether they were
So I
bothered
would love
by
to make
your-
this short and
I don't
sweet,
know if
Gail.
Mia, I want to go back to that day. Take us back to that day. We've all seen the video.
Okay, so I arrived
She is smiling, like, seriously, like, she is not sorry.
back to the hotel after grabbing some Starbucks. I had noticed my phone had been missing, so I just approached the hotel manager, asked him if he could kindly just check the footage. In my opinion, I was like, okay, any person walking down could possibly be the person that might have had my phone. I wasn't racial profiling whatsoever. I'm a woman. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm like a woman of color. I'm Italian, Greek, Puerto Rican.
You keep saying you're Puerto Rican. Does that mean that?
I knew she had Italian in her. I knew she had Italian. My friend said that because me and my friend were discussing this story, and he said that she was Puerto Rican only. I said, no, I think she has Italian in her. So she's mixed, right? So she thinks that she has the right to be racist towards another person just because she says she's gonna fit that minority, in that minority area where, like, okay, I'm a minority too. Why am I going to be racist towards another minority? There's a lot of people who are, of minority like me, that I've faced a lot of, racism. It's not necessarily white people, but it was minorities like me being racist towards me. So this is what Gail had to say after that.
You can't be racist because you're saying you're a woman of color? Is that what you mean?
Exactly.
See, she's saying that you can still be racist even if you're a woman of color.
Well, I would disagree that people of color can be racist too. Do you believe that you should pay a price for this?
I don't feel that my accusation is a crime.
But it's more than the accusation. It's the way that you tackled him, it seems, on the videotape. What would you do differently? You said that you look at that tape and that's not who you are.
I think I could have just asked the hotel manager. So yes, I could have stepped aside, or the father and I. We immediately could have started just speaking at a lower tone, and probably that would have handled the whole situation a lot.
No. He's not gonna be like, if you're gonna accuse someone about something, he's not gonna be like, okay, let me let's talk about this situation and let's figure this out, like adult to adult, because you're accusing my son of taking your iPhone. No, it's because when she was accusing him, she was raising her voice. So humanistic approach to this, or humanistic reaction to this, is to react the same way or even more, because that he's the one who's being accused. You know what I mean? She's dumb. She's really dumb, because I was just like, she was just like, well, we could have taken another approach. I was like, no, you wouldn't, because you're the one who accused. If somebody accuses somebody else, that person is gonna be angry. You don't think they're gonna, they're gonna be all nice to you, like, let's just talk like this, and it's just, obviously, where's your phone? You're accusing me of it. It's just like, he's not gonna be all neutral about it. She's so freaking dumb, dude.
With all due respect, when Mr. Harold was talking to you, it seemed to me that he was responding to you because you had accused his son.
I'm saying that both of us. I said it, both of us.
You see two black people?
No, I'm not letting him walk away with my phone.
Bottom line is this issue is much bigger than I think Mia is appreciating, and she sees it as a very simple thing.
Attorney Sharon Gatan sat with Ponsetto through the entire interview and wanted her client to feel empowered to tell her own story. But Gatan also felt it important to provide context on Ponsetto's state of mind.
But the family has more evidence, because they have the hotel camera, and then they also have them shooting their video camera as well. So obviously Harold knew what he was doing, okay? Obviously Keon Harold knew what he was doing, so he had to get out his phone to record it, because she could say something completely different, and he would have no evidence to, prove nothing on his behalf. So he pulls out his phone to record her, but I think he recorded after she had tackled. So thank God, after she had tackled his son. So thank God there is the hotel footage seeing her tackle his son near the door of the hotel. Let me speak more after we finish this video about the hotel staff
of the incident.
So let me just boil it down. She was a 22-year-old woman alone in New York. No one is with her. Her entire contacts, flight arrangements, Wi-Fi, emails, Apple Pay, her funds, her money is all on that phone. She agreed that her behavior and her actions were definitely less than elegant, shall we say, and less than graceful, and less than what anyone else would do, and she agreed, and she wouldn't have repeated it.
It's been reported that your phone was returned to you by an Uber driver. Is that true?
That is not true, because I arrived at the hotel with my phone in my hand.
Okay, who returned your phone to you?
The hotel receptionist.
Mia, where had the phone been?
Why don't we ask the hotel receptionist?
Mia, to be honest, I'm telling you, you seem to be not remorseful, to have no contrition, that you're almost a little flippant about this. You have to understand, for this teenage boy who says that he was shattered, who said that he was traumatized, this is a big deal. You're traumatized too, because...
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. He is honestly, he's 14, and that's what they're claiming. Yeah, I'm 22.
Claiming? How can they be claiming? Their parents, the mother of his that gave birth to him, is saying he's 14. How is she claiming it? She's fucking dumb, dude.
I've lived probably just the same amount of life as him. Like, honestly. I'm just as a kid.
No, she's 22. She's 22, he's 14. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You have more life experience than he does. He is a minor. You are not.
I feel sorry.
That's why your ass went to fucking jail. No, that's not fucking true. She needs to fucking go and learn about aging, and life experiences, and life expectancies, okay? Because she obviously gets is putting it in her head that she's a minority too. If she thinks that she has shared the same lifespan that he has, you know? No, she hasn't experienced that much life than she has. What a dumbass.
That I made the family go through like all of that stress, but at the same time, it wasn't just them going through that.
I just don't think that you helped yourself by your behavior. When you looked at that video, what did you think? What did you think, Mia, when you looked at the video?
You already asked me that in the beginning of the interview. I'm not going over it again. I would like to have a real interview with real questions and real heart and real sincere apologies. Let 2021 be the moment of healing. Seriously.
All right. What would you want an interview with real questions? I'll give you the floor. What would you like us to know, Mia?
That I'm sincerely sorry to the family and the dad and the son for making them feel as if I was racist towards them when that is not my intention.
Now, during the interview, Ponsetto kept interrupting her.
Completely cut off because it was not a sincere apology at all.
Attorney and Sharon Gatan says her client went off script. According to her lawyer, Ponsetto was prepared for this interview. They had talked about it. They had gone over it. But the 22-year-old, she says, decided to disregard her advice she was given and just went on her own. Mia Ponsetto was due back in court in March. I really felt for the attorney. We cut out a lot of it because
Yeah, they are going to press charges on Mia Ponsetto. I think because they don't think that she got the right punishment for what she did. And the charges that she had, she shouldn't be spending that much. They said that it was a weekend. They didn't say it was 2 weeks. So whatever it wasn't as much of a punishment that she should have been getting, knowing the charges that was against her. I think that the family thought it was not fair for her to get those charges, okay? So we're going to be looking at what the family has to say now, but I would like to discuss before I do show the video of how little the hotel had to do. I mean, does the hotel have, those were hotel staffs. They said the hotel staffs were the ones who were getting involved, but where was the hotel security? You see all these like hotels having these security guards in the front. Where are they coming in? This is a Soho, a very nice Soho hotel. I would expect a nice hotel, expensive hotel, to have some sort of security in the front or on the side or whatever, wherever near the building, okay? To like get her off of a 14-year-old. Maybe they didn't want to touch her because her being a female. Doesn't matter, okay? She was attacking. She had to get some kind of force done to her to keep her away. So they said that they did get involved, and so I think it's because I think the hotel was being racist too. Now, if it was being a rich white woman, rich white dad and a son, and they needed extra hands to get this woman away from their family, then the hotel would have gave them extra hands. But they didn't. You know, you can hear in the video that Keon Harold was telling the hotel staff, like, what are you guys doing? Like, she is trying to attack us. What are you guys doing? You know? They're like saying that they were trying to get her off, but the thing was, it was not much hands. It was not much staff that was getting involved. That was the problem. And if it was let's just say a different color skin, it would have been a whole different scenario. So this is the family speaking out, y'all.
Bring in now Keon Harold Jr. and his parents, Keon Harold Sr., Kat Rodriguez. Thank you all for being here, and also the attorney, Ben Crump. Good to see you all this morning. And Keon Jr., I have to start with you. Let's bring in now Keon Harold Jr. and his parents, Keon Harold Sr., Kat Rodriguez. Thank you all for being here, and also the attorney, Ben Crump. Good to see you all this morning. And Keon Jr., I have to start with you. You're now a few days removed from this incident. How are you doing, and how have the last few days been for you?
I mean, I've been...
It's just the way Keon Harold Jr. speaks to know that he is a minor. Although he does have facial hair and all that stuff, and he does look older than he is, when he speaks, the way he speaks, you can tell that he is not very camera friendly. He's more of camera shy. So for him to speak up at this time about the incident is a very, very strong of him to do. But you could tell by his voice that he sounds like a minor. He sounds like an average teenage boy that had, just, go hang out with friends and just play video games and like that's his thing as a 14-year-old, and for him to be accused of something like that, that's very sad.
I've been alright, I guess. I mean, I've been confused. I mean, I don't know what would have happened if my dad wasn't there, honestly, but I'm feeling cool. These past few days, still kind of shell-shocked, but I'm hanging in there.
Keon, you say you were shell-shocked, but what was going through your mind at the moment? We've all seen the video now, but you were living in that moment. What was going through your mind?
For me, I was confused because I've never seen that lady ever, and I didn't know what to do at the moment. So that's why I was happy to have my dad here to help me.
And another question here, what do you think? Why do you think this woman accused you? Not just accused, but accused you so forcefully and then physically came after you. What possibly could have given her the impression that you had her phone?
I think it's because, for me, I think I was a threat to her, and I think she was scared. So that's why when she saw me, she just jumped on me and attacked me.
And let me bring in your dad here. You were there while this was happening. What did she physically do to your son?
She basically, I mean, if you've seen the video, we came downstairs and we hit the lobby and she was all on him, asking me for his phone immediately. But after the video cuts off, and I mean, she basically tackled, she scratched me. And I was there to, try to protect my little cub. That's what a parent could possibly do. And basically trying to keep her away, keep her off of my son. I couldn't imagine what it would have been like if I wasn't there to be with him.
Mom, Kat, let me bring you in here. You had to hear about it and then see the video later. You weren't there. And parents' instinct, like Dad just said, is to protect your cub, to protect your child. What was that like for you to have to hear about that experience and to have to even watch that video later and not be able to be there?
For me, fear came in because my son, if his father wouldn't have been there.
Kat Rodriguez, so she has Spanish in her.
What would have happened to my son if the cops would have been called? So fear set in. As a mother, and when my son asked me, why me, son, that? Why me, mom? That, it just hurt.
You have to tell, this is like what society is. Now it's like a requirement to, just for mothers and fathers to tell their children that literally it's just going back to segregation, where the mother and father has to tell them, like, this is society. You have to be careful because you can't go on this place because there's a lot of white people. We are segregated by them. We are separated by them. So you cannot have white friends because, it's prohibited. You know what I mean? Now in today's age, a lot of mothers and fathers now have to tell their kids that, look, so if you are getting discriminated in any way or attacked in any way, it's because of the color of your skin. That's so sad, you know? It's just like, what has changed after segregation ended? Nothing. Nothing at all. Really nothing. So it's just really sad that the mother had to tell her son this after this incident happened. I mean, and then some parents, they have to tell their kids this, even when the incident didn't even happen to them, just to make sure that they have a better understanding in case it does happen. You know what I mean?
What's your answer to that question? Why me, Mom?
The toughest answer that a parent has to give their child, son, unfortunately, it might be because you're Black. It might be because you're no longer seen as a child. When you look at him, he looks like he could be 16 or 17, but when you hear him speak, he's a 14-year-old boy.
I want to bring Ben in here. Ben, you want charges. We've heard Keon Sr. there describe a physical assault.
Hopefully they do get the charges that they deserve for this incident, because knowing how much she got charged for and how long she's been in jail for, she should have been in jail longer than that.
So, you want charges, and that's justice, but it's also in your mind are necessary because it needs to send a particular message. What message?
TJ, we want charges because we have to send the message, because this has larger societal implications. Think about how many Black men have been falsely accused by these Karens, and they end up losing their liberty and losing their life sitting in prison. And so we have a petition for the Manhattan District Attorney, Cy Vance Jr., to bring charges against this woman for assault and battery.
And Keon Jr., I know this is still fresh. This is just a few days ago. But if you do, and when you do, have an opportunity to speak to this woman, what would you say to her?
At first, I would expect an apology. And two, I would...
She's not gonna give you an apology. Not. That's so sad. She's not gonna give you an apology.
Ask her why would she do something like this to a kid who has never met you at all, and I would just ask just why.
Your parents have both said something here, that they wonder what would have happened and they fear what would have happened if they weren't around. Was that type of thing in the back of your mind as you were having this experience, given all that we have seen this year in terms of videos and police interactions with Black men? Was that in your mind as well, that type of fear for your life, even literally, Keon Jr.?
Yes. I think because if you're by yourself, right? And you have nobody to help you, and you have no proof, and it was just me by myself, it would have been a whole different story.
And Kat, did I hear you kind of right that maybe are you waiting to hear her side of the story? Are you willing to give her the benefit of the doubt right now as well?
I'm yes. I mean, I'm angry, I'm hurt, but I want to know why. The whole point is why. We don't have any clue why this woman attacked our son, so why?
All right, Ben, Kat, Keon Jr., Keon Sr., thank you all so much. We'll talk to you again down the road, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And they do have a petition going.
So this was what they had said. Like his son was saying, if he was alone and he had no one to record it, no one to help him, no one to defend him, then he would have been alone. The hotel staff was not doing that much to prevent this from happening, and they let it escalate, and that was on their part. I don't know what's gonna happen to them, and if the family's gonna do something about what the hotel staff, basically how little of how little they did to help prevent this situation from escalating. You know what I mean? So I don't know what if the family's gonna do something about the hotel or sue the hotel or whatnot, because I think that they should, because the hotel should have done something. I mean, it was in their area, it was in their facility, so it was not okay for them to not have the right, security to come and help them with this situation. I just think it's racism. I know for a fact it's racism. Everybody is labeling it racism, but I feel that it is a psychological disorder on her part. She does see I do see signs of psychological disorder when she was talking to Gail, her interview with Gail on Good Morning America. And so if you guys don't know about narcissism is, I think she has narcissism. Narcissism is selfishness, of course, involving a sense of entitlement, a lack of empathy, and a need for admiration as characterizing a personality type, and its excessive interest in or admiration of oneself and one's physical appearance. And it's not just physical appearance, y'all. Like I said, like I said, in the psychological definition of it is selfishness involving a sense of entitlement, a lack of empathy, and a need for admiration as characterizing a personality type. So when Gail was saying, so you don't have sympathy towards the son, you don't have sympathy towards the 14-year-old, she says, oh, well, so she's like, what about me? She directly, if a psychologist was to take apart, I would love a psychologist to take apart her interview, Mia's interview, and see what kind of, it's more than narcissism, okay? I just see, the first thing I see, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but the first thing I see is narcissism, because she thinks that she's entitled. She thinks she's entitled, therefore she thinks that, she thinks she's on the top of the world, like nothing's gonna happen to her. I wish they press charges. I wish she goes back to jail and serve the times, because there was four, not just endangering the welfare of a minor, a child, and also attempted robbery. She did attempted assault too. That should have been more than, they said it was a weekend. But I had an understanding that it was 2 weeks in jail. But they're saying a weekend. Even if it was a weekend or 2 weeks, even 2 weeks, that shouldn't have been, that's a short time to be in jail for those charges. I think that was not fair so if it was, let's do a role reverse here. So if it was a black woman accusing a white family for taking her phone, if it was a black woman, y'all, and it was a white family just having dinner or lunch at the hotel, and she accuses this white family of taking her phone, and she gets charged for those things, I think it would have been more than just 2 weeks or a weekend. You know what I mean? So it would have been a whole different sentencing, guys. I just am in awe. I think she is narcissistic. It looks bad because to me being in California and many other people being in California, it just looks bad on us because she is from California. Um, she has something wrong with her. You know what I mean? And she didn't think, oh, he is a famous trumpet player. No, she saw a black colored skin and was like a colored skin um male, two colored skin male, and directly pointed at them. Okay, there's a lot of people who has iPhone, especially being in a expensive hotel like that. There is a lot of people who have iPhones. Okay, that didn't really matter. Okay, so you could be like in McDonald's or whatever, or Target or Walmart, and still have people surrounding you on their iPhones. So you could hear him in the video stating, he said, "There's not only one iPhone made in this world." So he was very angry about it, and I would have been too if that was my son. This was very sad news to hear, and I can't believe that this is happening. These Karens out here just coming out and being plain old racist and just being all like they think they're entitled, and I think that's a narcissistic character that caused them to be racist. So it's just I just would love to have a psychologist just look at this video and be like, there's more to it than narcissism, because I would love to know what is going on in this fucking dumbass girl's brain. Okay, so this is it for what I needed to talk about in this situation. Hopefully they do, I do read follow-up news about them pressing charges on her. Mia Ponsetto, look at her face. If you see her walking around somewhere, she is a Karen, guys. She is a Karen, not just old ladies that are Karens. There is younger ladies that are Karen as well. She's only 22, guys. So look out for her. Look out for people like her. And just be careful, guys. Minority, speaking to a minority, it just doesn't happen to blacks as well. It happens to Asians. Like I read that one Karen, this happened in California, that one Karen, I don't know where in California, I have to look that up, but there was an Asian girl that was, because the gyms were closed and everything, so a lot of people are, exercising outside, exercising at their home. They have their home gym or they exercise outside. So she was just exercising outside on the stairs, like running up and down the stairs, just or doing lunges or whatever. And she gets yelled at by this white woman, and she tells this Asian girl to go back to her country. Now, a lot of these Asian people were enraged, so they were out in the park, standing in the park, because of that incident that happened. So it's sad, and you see a lot of people who riot and protest and all that stuff is because they have to deal with this racist shit that a lot of these Karens do to them for no reason at all. So hatred is, we have to deal with not only the COVID-19, but hatred. It's really sad. So I'm going to end this video with thank you for watching this video. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the notification bell. And also, Wildly Understood is coming up. Podcast with my big bro is coming up, so look out for that. And follow my social medias, Nikki Say It Now, for everything. And I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you later. Bye bye.